In the wake of recent breaches like CDK Global and Change Healthcare, and the large outage caused by CrowdStrike, the importance of robust cybersecurity has never been clearer. Every business, regardless of industry, must protect its operations and sensitive data. An effective incident response plan, or IRP, is vital for swiftly addressing and mitigating any cyber threats or tech outages that just are causing problems in your business. Some of the organizations affected could have significantly minimized the damage and downtime with a well-prepared IRP. Here's a high-level overview of what an incident response plan entails and why it's crucial for you and your business. Hello, everyone, and happy Friday. I'm Michael Kinnett. I'm CEO and founder of Eternal Networks. And every Friday at 1 p.m. Pacific, I go live on our social media pages to discuss educational topics and to share some information to be helpful to your business. These live streams aim to help small business owners feel much more confident in their knowledge about business technology and cybersecurity. At Eternal Networks, we're dedicated to creating safe and secure environments for businesses, and staying educated on technology is a key part of fortifying your environment. Typically, at the end of the live stream, I answer questions. This time, I'm actually going to be tied up offsite at a client, so I am pre-recording this. But please post your questions. I will be available on chat from my client's location to be able to respond. So if you have any questions, post them in the chat. In the comments. I will respond to those live in the comments on Friday. All right, incident response plan. Sounds pretty straightforward, right? But what does an IRP really entail? An incident response plan is a systematic approach to managing and addressing cybersecurity and technology failure incidents. It outlines the steps and procedures that an organization should follow to detect, respond to, and recover from various tech failure events, including data breaches, malware attacks, insider threats, and other cybersecurity attacks. An effective IRP helps to mitigate the impact of these incidents, protecting the organization's assets, reputation, and overall business continuity. I'm going to go over 6 key components today that make up an IRP. First of those is preparation. It's important that as you're preparing to build an IRP, that you perform a risk assessment. You identify and evaluate potential threats and vulnerabilities specific to your organization. It's important as part of this preparation, right, that you do the risk assessment and then you start building some policies, some documented policies that define how incidents will be handled. These will be part of your incident response plan. It's also important that you form a team. Assemble an incident response team, or IRT, that should include not just your IT staff, but should include any security experts, legal advisors, and key decision makers for your organization. Once you've done that, it's important to move on to the next step, which is identification. It's important that you implement monitoring processes, continuous monitoring systems to detect unusual activities and potential threats to your organization. Set up alert mechanisms to notify the incident response team of any suspicious activities or confirmed incidents or outages. Develop criteria for classifying the severity and impact of incidents to prioritize response efforts. Obviously, if it's a complete ransomware attack, everything's encrypted, that's going to be very different than your internet's out of one of your locations. So make sure that you're building that classification system so that your team knows how severe, what's the impact of this particular incident that they're responding to. The next part of your incident response plan is going to be containment. It's important that in the event of an attack or some sort of technology incident, that your IRT takes quick, decisive actions to contain the incident and prevent any further damage. This could include isolating affected systems or networks, or taking your entire network offline. Short-term containment's another option. Implement temporary measures to limit the spread of the incident while developing a more comprehensive response strategy. Develop and implement long-term solutions to address the root cause of the incident and prevent recurrence. Now, sometimes you got to do a Band-Aid, right? You got to do something quick to prevent the spread before you can do that long-term containment. And that should be the approach of your IRT, should be included in this plan that you're developing, right? What's the fastest we can do to minimize the effects of this? And then what's the long-term thing we can do to get back up and running and make sure it doesn't happen again? Which leads us to step 4 of your plan, which is eradication. It's critical that you identify and eliminate the root cause of the incident. The Band-Aid might be great, right? Disconnecting systems from the network, that might be great to mitigate the risk of spreading. But ultimately, you're going to have to identify what's the root cause. Where did this attack come from? What software has failed? What is causing this incident to be able to truly resolve it and move forward? If malware is the case, make sure you're removing the malware. Make sure you're removing any compromised accounts, that you're fully mitigating what that root cause was. And make sure you're cleaning up any other traces of the incident from affected systems. I should also say it's critical, this part's critical, that you involve your cyber insurance company, because if you're going in and cleaning up systems and deleting compromised accounts and files, that's all part of the forensic trail that your cyber insurance might require in order to pay out and help you recover from this incident. So make sure you're involving them. Make sure that part of your IRT, your incident response team, is your legal, but also your insurance, so that they're involved early on to maximize that payout for your cyber insurance. Part of your incident response plan, part of this cleanup effort, should also be applying any patches or updates to fix vulnerabilities that might have been exploited during the incident. The end result is we want to be able to recover, which is our next step. But we want to be able to recover and make sure that those criminals aren't just going to come right back in the same back door that they came in before. We identified that root cause, we patched it, we resolved it, and we locked them out. I was able to help a law firm in the Las Vegas area who had been encrypted with ransomware 3 times over the course of a year. And the IT provider that I replaced got them back up and running, but he never shut that back door. So a month later, they just came back in and re-encrypted them. It wasn't until we fully applied the patches and fixes and firewall updates and locked that door that we were able to fully move on to the next phase, which is recovery. In the recovery section or phase of your incident response plan, this is where you restore your affected systems and services to normal operation. You ensure that they're free from vulnerability. Run system checks, right, as you're bringing them back online. Any data that may have been lost, recover or from other sources. Any lost or compromised, corrupted data as a result of the attack. And then it's important that you closely monitor these systems that you're bringing back online to ensure that one, that they're functioning correctly, and 2, that there's no further incidents going to occur as a result of bringing those back onto the network. Sometimes it's safer and easier to completely wipe the systems and then be able to bring them back on fully clean and then restore the data. But either way, it's critical that you're monitoring and keeping a close eye on things to make sure that there's no other malicious activity going on those systems or on your network in general. And then the last step, the last phase is what we like to call lessons learned. This is typically done once the dust settles, right? We don't want to go right into this until we know, like, okay, the effects have been mitigated, we've restored, we've resolved it, we're back up, we're fully operational, and we've had a little bit of time to catch our breath and to let those emotions, which will run high during an incident, right? Let those emotions calm down a little bit so we can think logically. It's important that during this lessons learned or post-incident review phase, that we conduct a thorough logical review of the incident and the response efforts of the IRT to develop strengths and to look for areas for improvement. Document the incident, document the response actions taken, and the lessons learned from your team to inform future response efforts. Update the IRP based on insights gained. Provide training to the IRT and other stakeholders in the organization. This is critical because, in the event that this happens again, whether it's the same type of incident or a different incident, we want to make sure that we've learned from our experiences and that we're going to do better the next time. We should always be improving. Mistakes will be made, right? We're all human. The important thing is to identify those and to implement things to prevent them from happening the next time. So it may seem obvious in the wake of all the crazy tech and cyber incidents over the past year, but an incident response plan really is crucial for every organization and for several reasons. One, it helps to minimize the damage. By having a structured approach, organizations can quickly contain and mitigate the impact of these incidents. Number two, it helps to ensure compliance. Many industries have regulatory requirements for incident response and data protection. So having a plan in place in many industries is required that you have this plan. Also, having an IRP really helps to protect your reputation. Effective incident response helps maintain customer trust and protects the organization's reputation, right? Part of your incident response plan, I didn't talk about it, but it should be communication, right? That's a big part of it. So as you're responding to an incident, who's communicating to your customers and other stakeholders and letting them know what's going on? That should be part of that IRP. Also, an IRP ensures that critical business functions can continue or resume quickly after an incident. In an era where cyber threats are ever present, having a well-crafted incident response plan is not just a best practice, it really is a necessity. It empowers organizations and the employees at organizations to handle incidents efficiently, minimizing their impact and emerging stronger as an organization. If you have any questions about IRPs, cyber attacks, or anything technology, you can always reach out to me and my team to ask questions. Shoot me a DM, use our website, put comments on the post. There's lots of ways, right? We love talking about IT, technology, cybersecurity, all of those things. So, like I said, I'm not live on this video right now as you're watching it, but I will be monitoring the comments. So post comments and I will respond live. If you're ready for a more in-depth discussion about cybersecurity technology in your industry, we do offer a more personalized conversation. And we do these weekly. Every Thursday at 1 p.m. Pacific time, we host a free weekly cybersecurity briefing where local business owners come together to discuss the specific challenges being faced in our industries. Each week, we tailor the discussion topics to the unique needs of our attendees to make sure that you're getting relevant insights for your business based on the industry that you're in. If you're ready to dive deeper, check out the available dates via the link below or scan the QR code on your screen to secure your spot today. We're excited to continue working together to strengthen our community's cybersecurity and technology knowledge. Thanks for joining us today. Like I said, if you have any questions or comments, throw them in the comments, send me a DM, call our office, visit our website at itnet.works. We'd love to hear from you, and we'll see you next week. Have a good one.